All right, everybody, here we go. Welcome again to another How Do I? We've got Whisper in the background over there. She's checking in today, but it's been a couple months since I've actually released these. I was doing quite a few of them, and I have a long list of questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? How do I do that? But thanks for being patient, getting back in the groove. Got married in May. A lot of combination of homes and things and adventures and businesses and just kind of took a break to delve into new married life, especially at my age. How many weekends do you have left, right? Anyways, everybody always sends me questions, how do I? And this is because I mentor CEOs. I do it both through Vistage Worldwide, which is the world's leading CEO organization. And this video has a lot to do with some great initiatives they're doing there. And I also mentor private CEOs and leaders around the world, both in leadership and also designing leadership intuitively, which comes from my work in my Heartbeat series. So let's get into it. How do I sort out strategic thinking and strategic planning? I've heard this several times over the past 2 months, probably because Vistage has launched on a great little, not little, very expensive platform on strategic planning. And because I've done hundreds of strategic plans over the course of my 30, 40 years, we'll just stop it at 30 because you don't need to know how old I am. And then I used to teach organizations to think strategically, and there's a reason for it. So we're going to kind of unpack that today. I'm in a little bit of a new computer with my notes, but we're just going to kind of head on to it. So let's do this. You ever find someone, maybe it's yourself, where you get these big ideas? I call it popcorn thinking. And when you're around someone like that, they can be exhausting, right? Because we move at a very fast pace, and we often just it almost looks like my kids used to say, "Mom, you're spinning." Well, if you're a leader and you have a team, or even a mom like me who had lots of ideas and lots of things to do, you could exhaust the people around you. And then if you don't communicate which one of those popcorn ideas you're taking down and actually going to execute, they get really tired. And they start to look like this, like I got the bags under my eyes, right? That's from a great, joyful weekend that made me tired. But you don't want your team walking around really tired like that. And so you have to be able to put in place some roadmap to get to where you want to go. And I'm going to tell you, what got you here is not going to get you there. We're in a VUCA and BAN environment. If you don't know what that means, click on my playlist in my Leadership Wisdom YouTube channel. There's a playlist of a whole bunch of how do I's, and there's also power packs we'll talk about, but you can go to theleadingheart.com, join for free, go to power pack, and you'll get one on VUCA and Banny for like $19, 10 different lessons and great insights on it. Let's get back to it. All right. So let's break it down really simple. This is a thinking apparatus, right? We use it all the time. It's the intellectual. It's not the intuitive. There's some brain patterns, but it's the thinking, and it's about mindset. And it is the ability to see the big picture, that thing we call strategic vision, okay? The vision, what am I seeing? What is it that I can see on the horizon? Where are we going? It's the thing that helps us anticipate the change. It spots opportunities. It gives you the idea of how do I be successful or how do I fail? And it helps you, analyze those complex situations all the time, kind of do the plus delta, or however it is that you approach it. And you start to ask the question, what if? And this is actually the mind that always starts the videos on this channel. How do I, is the people that I mentor go, how do I do active listening, or how do I whatever? So we're into this, how do I? So that's thinking, strategic thinking. Use the thinking apparatus. Picture that. Strategic planning is what turns the thinking into the ideas for action. So I can think very big, very broad. I call it 90,000 feet in the sky, the pie in the sky thinking, the shiny object thinking. Sometimes we have to watch the shiny object thinking for CEOs because they get distracted and their team starts to look like they're bipolar or whatever. Anyways, not that bipolar is a bad thing, but you know what it is. You go up, down, up, down, up, down. Anyways, Strategic planning turns it into action, gives the roadmap, gives the plans. I don't call them goals typically in my own language. I call them strategic visions, and then a strategic intention, and then key results to achieve, then action and time and who does it. So it's all about making the thinking into something real by setting these timelines and knowing if you got the resources and tracking the results. It gets super, super exciting. So let's just make sure we know the two differences. The thinking is this ongoing process that you need to teach everybody within your organization how to strategically think. Everyone. That's what I would do. And people would say, back in the days when I was a consultant, they'd say, well, if they do that, they don't need you to do the plan. I'm like, that's fine. Let them pay my $50,000 for a plan or whatever. But if they do it with me for 3 years, I'll teach them how to think, and they'll be able to think and plan and do it on themselves. Or do it by themselves. So that strategic thinking and planning is the structure. It's the follow through. It's the system to make your ideas happen. Some of you might be using EOS. It's a very light touch. I would say it's more of an operational plan. Really good for accountability, really good for the steps of what it is that we're talking about here. And if you're in Vistage, by the way, you get a strategic planning tool for free for your membership. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it. It's not that I'm going to, go out and do strategic planning anymore, because I'm fourth quarter of my life and doing a lot of other fun things, but I am going to teach all next year the CEOs that I mentor on my boards the difference, and let's use the tool and get down to it. So you know that there's two key differences, thinking and planning. You got to have both. You can't just spend your time thinking. We all know people like that. They got idea after idea after idea. They never execute, right? The plan executes. And you can't just get into the execution and in the weeds. And there's a lot of strategic planners that I've met in my life that's what they do. They go through and they're doing an execution plan or an operations plan. That's not strategic planning. It's both together. It's like a sandwich, and you're stuck in the middle enjoying it. All right, so you truly need both. If you spend all your time on one or the other, you got a problem. Probably need to get some course correction there. If you're in Vistage, I think there's plenty of people that are going to help you with that course correction, or if you're using a consultant, go do that. Now, I want to give an example because some of you are audio and you're listening to me. Some of you are watching my talking head or maybe my sleeping dog in the background there. And some of you need stories. So let's just give an example. I'm going to actually teach this to some of my board members, the CEOs that I mentor, and some of their team leaders who they want to know the difference. And they're going to come to my home, which we usually meet here. And this is what I'm going to give them as a real life experience. And I'm going to call it the vacation because it's a personal experience. Let's try there first. You guys have all been on vacation, right? So let's just have some fun with this example. Let's say that you're going to go on a very big vacation to the Alps in Australia in 24 months, because you have to do a lot of things before that. So with the strategic thinking, which is the first thing you do, you put your strategic thinking hat on, you're going to start to visualize it. Now, you've all done this. You've all most likely been on a vacation, or, if you're a woman, you maybe have been pregnant and you're strategically thinking about what it's going to be like when that baby arrives, because you don't know. You've never been there. It's another good example. Anyways, let's go back to the adventure of the Alps. So you start to ask yourself, when is the best time to go? I'm supposed to be there. I'm supposed to experience this vacation within 24 months. So we'll call it 24 months, 2 years, give or take a few months. How am I going to get there? Am I going to get there by car, by plane, by train, by walk, by, magic carpet ride? Who knows? Who's coming with you? Mother, father, in-laws? Oh boy, who knows? Is it kids? Those aren't vacations. Those are trips. Actually, vacations, leisure, trips are when you have the kids. Is it neighbors? Is it friends? Is it yourself? What is it? How long are you going for? What connections do you need along the way? How much money do you need? If you're going by car, where's the map? What's the logistics? How do you pack all the stuff that you need to take you? So once you kind of map out, paint the vision, right? That's what artists do. My mother's an artist. By the way, she painted that picture in the back here. When you paint the vision of it, that's what you're doing. You're dreaming about it. You're imagining it. That's what Einstein said. It always starts first in the imagination, and then it comes down into paper. Once you mapped it out, That's where the planning comes in. Okay. And the planning checks, is it viable? I mean, all of us have had some vacation that we thought, hey, let's go do that. And then we dream about it, and then we go, oh yeah, that place doesn't even exist anymore. It went out of business. Or, oh, I used to go to Costa Rica or to Panama, or things have changed down there. You never know. So the planning is taking the vision and doing some research. So in this case, we'd research travel. We would research the timeline, how long it would get us there. We'd set a budget. We would make some bookings along the way. We'd pack the bags. What are we putting our stuff in? How much stuff are we taking? What do we need? What don't we need? Are we going by car? Does our car work? Is our car really weak? So let's talk about that. It's being able to shore up the weaknesses internally in your household, ready to take the vacation, or shore up the weaknesses internally within your organization. So again, if you're doing it on the organization, keep following me. I'll probably drop a few more of these how do I's when it comes to the business. But today it's just the yin and the yang, the this and the that. So that's where we get the thinking that goes into the planning. Now I'm going to give you some 10 takeaways of bringing the two sides together. So just let's say you got the visionary thinkers on one side, and you got the analysts and all the detailed folks. That's my husband and I. He's a logistics guy. He knows how to execute. He's like super high in accountability. They say if he says it's going to get done, it's going to get done. And I tend to vision. I'm good at that too, because I know how to plan. I know how to think. But I got to have my playbooks for everything. I've been writing strategic plans even in my Vistage practice since 2010. Probably one of the only few chairs that did that and would send it up to corporate, because I have to have that plan. So here's the 10 takeaways to bring the two sides together. You start with the big picture, the vision, strategic vision. It's not that philosophical vision that stands on the wall. That's different. It's not that mission. It might be a strategic mission, but you're going to start with the vision. Where are you hitting that hockey puck? At the end, when it's all done, what's the pictures look like? That's your vision. Analyze that plan or analyze that picture before you plan with your group. Stay very curious. Begin to ask your questions. Get, as we say in my Vistage board, get that 10th men rule out. Somebody who plays the devil's advocate. Stay curious all the time. Challenge every single assumption, especially in this day and age when we got VUCA and BANI going on, and things are shifting and changing continuously worldwide, not just in your industry. It has nothing to do with the politics. It is just constant shifting and changing as we go into a new meme, a new technology that's affecting everybody worldwide, and all of the things that kicks off. So start to link together the visions. Finance might have one vision. Let's clean up the books, right? Or in the case of the vacation, mom might have one. Hey, I got a vision for getting all the kids and you and me a nice wardrobe for this really nice vacation we're taking. And dad might have a whole nother vision. He's going, I think I need a brake job. We need 4 new tires. We need to make sure that we got, maybe we need a whole new car. Link those visions together. Prioritize what it is that really matters in those visions. You got to stay adaptable. You got to be ready to pivot. We talked about that. The new leadership journey is different. That's why I'm taking the CEOs and leaders that I mentor through that journey all through 2025 and next year and probably the year after and the year after. It's going to be a while, because it's what got us here isn't getting us there. Measure as you go. How are you going to plan if you're effective? So if you're on vacation, how are we even going to go plan that we're saving enough money as we store up this money for 24 months? How do we know that our car is going to be good in 24 months? How are we going to know that we got the right clothes? Maybe I gain 100 pounds and I can't wear those. You got to measure. Adjust your plans as you go. It's like set the sails, right? That's why I call strategic plans that get put in, into writing, and they're 250 pages and they sit on a shelf. That's no good. You have to teach yourself and as a leader and your people how to think, so you get a strategically thinking organization, and the plan morphs. It's a living, breathing document. Get input for collective buy-in for sure. Absolutely. You think you're doing this blindly? It's like, I see nothing. I hear nothing. No. And you're going to bridge in thinking and planning always today for tomorrow. You're going to take a little bit the wisdom and the mastery from the past, but in this particular leadership journey, nobody knows. You're going to have to go within and kind of use that innate intuitive intelligence even among the team to say, what do we need to grasp from the past and bridge it for tomorrow, and what do we need to focus on today? We know since so many things are shifting and changing, you got to focus on what brings in revenue. So there's no time for, skunk work projects and long-term projects that take 2, 3, 5 years. We used to plan 10 years, 5 years, 3 years. No, now you're planning for sprints. All right, so let's do some practical tips. And again, all of these, well, actually even more, because this is just a summary off my head, is in this power pack that if you want to get at the end of this video, just click the link below. It'll take you to theleadingheart.com. Subscribe to Leadership Wisdom with Fitz as well. That's the YouTube channel. Anyways, go to the leadingheart.com, click on Power Pack, and you can get 10 different ways to learn about this alone and more on this topic with videos and audio and coaching notes and stuff for your newsletter and insights. I put it all in a Power Pack, all of it for $19. Because why? You guys ask me all the time, Fitz, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? And I thought it's just easier. So here's some tips, okay? You're going to move your team, okay? Not just do it yourself. You got to move your team forward in this type of embrace of thinking. You're going to move them to become smarter, not just planners, because they're going to go, oh, that's for the strategic planners. No, everyone can strategically think. Everyone. So you got to take some time for these big picture discussions and bring some of those analyticals in that don't want the big picture. They want to dig deep into the details. Bring all of them in. Before finalizing any plan, make sure you revisit the why and the what if questions. Look at the Simon Sinek video and see if you're getting back to your core business, or does your core business need to be blown up? Maybe you don't know. Maybe you have to, together as a team, lead with intuitively. That's like my latest book in my Heartbeat series, Leadership Wisdom, How to Design Leadership Intuitively. You have to get to that. Trace every single task or action item back to its original strategic purpose in the thinking of it. None of this, we just throw it out. If you're doing that, you've got an operations plan going on. And there's great operational plans out there. EOS is one, 40X. I can think of, a gazillion of them if you ask me, but then I'd have to do another how do I video on it. So anyways, you're going to make sure that you revisit those questions all the time, get it linked back to the initial purpose. What is the intentions? This is the vision for the next 3 months. These are the 3 specific intentions we plan to do. You're going to celebrate both the creativity. You got a team that's off the charts thinking creatively. Hopefully you got another team that's highly analytical, and you got another team that's got kind of that sales relationship customer thing. Can we do it? Can we bring the energy to this? Remember, strategy evolves. So you got to be ready to adjust. None of this, I did it, one and done. Hey, we did it. No. It's a living, breathing document. You're continually creating new roadmaps. So the takeaway for today, thinking forms your why and your how. Planning delivers the what and the when. Let me repeat it. Thinking forms your why and the how, and the planning delivers your what and your when. So great results come from balancing both in big projects. So if you want to go deeper on this, I'm going to cough now. So if you want to go deeper on this, just click the link below. Go ahead and get the Power Pack. It's $19. It even includes some group coaching sessions that I'll start to be doing on all of these Power Packs, which are all linked into my How to Eyes and all these questions that I get from the C-suite. If you're a leader trying to get to the C-suite, you probably want to listen to some of them. It'll help. If you're a Vistage member, like the members that I adore worldwide, this will help you. And just make it a great day. Lead from your heart. Be a heart-based, intuitive leader. Always check out my books to help you get there. We'll see you on the next question of How Do I?